Did you ever envision yourself sitting at the RF Video hot seat?
Of course.
All right, cool.
But it's funny to hear you say that because I'm assuming I'm the most, I don't know how to put this, the most person to watch all your shoots that you're actually shooting with. Does that make any sense? Something?
Yeah.
Is that bizarre?
Besides Hortmuggle, because he gets everything too.
I think I've got him beat though. Like as far as the ones I've watched, everything.
Right.
So I don't know. So it's the first time I've ever stepped in the ring. I'm freaking out. Like this is amazing. There's probably like 9 of us that showed up for the first day to like see it. You can tell Balls and Chris have no game plan whatsoever. They're just doing whatever. We rolled around for like 2 hours. There's no agenda. Balls was like, "What do you guys want to do?" And I'm just so eager. I'm just like, "Backdrops." And he's like, "Okay." So first day taking backdrops, which if you're a trained wrestler, you know that's the dumbest. That's not possible. Like to do safely, or it's absolutely retarded. I've got no. If he didn't like you, he kind of just like wrote you off.
You were there for all the problems between Bill and Kevin Matthews. Mm-hmm. What do you remember about it during that time period? What is the deal from an outsider?
Kevin's my friend, but I don't think he was. I think he was blindsided by how tough it would be. Because he went for the tryout and he's like, "Oh, it was great, everyone was so nice," and blah, blah. And then when you're in there and you're in that daily grind, it gets you, man. It's like fucking Groundhog Day. You wake up and you're like, Zach would have like night terrors about going because it was so hard. And he couldn't sleep because it was just it was
anxiety.
Yeah, full blown anxiety because it was difficult, man. And if it wasn't difficult physically, it would be difficult mentally because he's egging you on. Everyone and you're in this competitive environment where everyone's trying to get the fuck out of there and get to the main roster. So like people are cutthroat, Awesome. I mean, I only got like 3 months of him his whole time there, and he was just so talented.
Why do you think he wanted out? I mean, the kid's got everything.
Because he wasn't going to play Bill's games. He wasn't going to... You got to play the game to get along, to move along sometimes.
He wasn't into politics.
He was not going to fucking change who he was, which was awesome, which is commendable,
Right.
And he was really talented. I mean, he's probably one of the best wrestlers in the world right now.
And
Bill always put him over that, but he just couldn't handle it. They said something, "Oh, Johnny's coming later. For a meeting, come back." So, anytime, and most of the time when John came, it would be to chew us out and stuff, because, with Bill and stuff, there's so much drama with people writing letters and stuff, and he would just come and, rip, he would just sit in the bleachers and he'd just rip into you, so we're like, oh, fuck.
Writing letters because of his treatment?
People would go behind Bill's back and write a anonymous letter to the office, say this is happening, and cause all this drama, and happen all the fucking time.
Justified or unjustified?
Maybe both.
Okay.
I would never do that. This chicken shit, pussy shit. I would never... It was just a headache for everyone. Bill would post it on the bulletin board, or shit from the dirt sheets he'd print out and put on the board, and it was just always drama. And I think Bill liked a little bit of drama, because he would draw too much attention to it.
Right.
Finally, Johnny comes out with Bucci. He goes, "This place is bad business. I don't do business with fucking, bad business people. Get every piece of WWE property out of this building right the fuck now." He goes, "Mike Bucci's pulling up a U-Haul around back, loaded up, blah, blah, blah. This is no longer a fucking place. If you come back here, you'll be fired on the spot. Once we're done with this today." It was a 90-second thing. And everyone's like, which also sucks to do all this work now. We're dressed nice and shit. We're all sitting there. And then finally, I don't know what's wrong with this, but Zach and I were the first ones. We were in the top row, and it was a banner like this, and we just stood up and... Woof! We started, and then chaos ensued, and everyone, oh man, we're taking the pay-per-view chairs are there and the posters, and Johnny's like, "Yeah, I don't fucking care, take whatever you want," blah blah blah, and Joe Arseg.
Yep.
So we're in Gorilla, and that Gorilla was weird because the real Gorilla's here, but then they would make that crazy entrance and it's over here.
Right.
So we're there's this big long dark tunnel with no one's in, and then you're just right there, and so we have to cross paths with Vince to go out for our thing, and he's shaved bald, but he's got that do-rag on. He's comes in with this thing. He's like, "You guys want to borrow this thing?" And he just struts off, and we're nervous as fuck. And that's the last thing we saw. We're like, well, that was weird. But it was super intimidating with Benoit there and Taker, and and it was tough.
So you guys actually went up to Undertaker and asked him if we could...
Yeah, we had to finally at least, we were 3 months on the road, doing stuff, and we said, "Hey, is it alright if we change with the boys now?" And
what did he say?
Yeah. So I mean... And then there was also shit I don't know, Paul London had some heat at that time where he was changing with us, so he got kicked out. Shit like that doesn't happen anymore. So we're like, what? He goes, "Yeah, he doesn't want you to be fake brothers," which I'm thinking to myself, well, in the history of wrestling, how many fucking everyone's fake brothers. There's I was like, who cares? And then we're like, shit, so what now? They're like, you need names. So then Johnny Ace comes along and he's like, "Yeah, you guys are with Edge now, so you need something like Slash or Razor, you know what I mean? Hip names like that one, and we're like, oh fuck. So we're like, holy shit. I know at one point we were gonna be Kiedis and Cobain, like
Right.
Kurt Cobain, Anthony Kiedis. We're thinking of like rock and roll, one like name, things like that. And then Michael Hayes comes along and he goes, and we tell him we're throwing. He goes, I don't think that's what's going on. He's like, I think Vince just wants regular names, and we're like, what? So now we're getting all this misinformation. Surreal, fucking real.
Right.
Sean's one of those guys, man. Like same with the Regal thing. Like he's my favorite. Like I think he's hands down the greatest wrestler of all time. And I just never got to that point where it's like, you know, I never got like brother hug status with him. Like I don't know why, you know, I never, and I wanted to, you know, I wanted to be his best friend. So Zach, lucky enough, Night Rider got it. He went rolling with that in ECW. I just stopped getting like booked, like not even going to TV.
Right.
So I was like, this is fucking crazy. I called Johnny, I want to say. I said, look, like I'm not gonna just sit home and rot away and die and get fired. Like, what do I gotta do? I was like, I'll go to FCW. I'll do, you know, whatever. So he's like, oh, I mean, he's like, we're not sending you there.
You voluntarily went there.
That's where it sucks, big time. So I'm like, I'm not sitting home to get fired because that's the only thing that's gonna come of this. I'll do what I gotta do. I went to FCW for a month. I stayed with Trent in his apartment. Did everything, practice, shows, everything.
Were you depressed?
What?
Were you depressed around?
No, I was pissed off and like determined at this point.
Okay.
He's funny.
Right.
I mean, I really don't like Shad. So
why is that?
He's just a clown. He's a klutz. He's full of shit. I don't like him. I have nothing. There's no like thing. Nothing happened.
Right.
I just know who he is, and I don't want to be his friend. Simple as that. I think I judging or mistakenly put JGG, lumped him in with him, but then around like this time, like I was around him a lot. I actually like him a lot.
Right.
I think Jason's great. Yeah. So I just the man. I'm so same thing. They did not. The office didn't see it, and I don't know how they couldn't see it. This guy had charisma for days, looked good, he's fucking hilarious, and they just think he's a goofball. They don't think he's funny. You know, it's just like. And I'm like so glad that he's getting over and doing his thing as EC3 because it was like, what are you fucking blind? How do you not say this guy is great? So it all worked. What do you mean you quit? I came in this morning and I told Jane Geddes and Hunter that I quit. I'm like you don't. Like, this is it? You're done? He's like, yeah, I just don't want to be a wrestler anymore. So I'm like, woof. My mind's going, I mean, chugging. I'm like, okay, I gotta go. Like, I'm sure this is like a personal thing that happened with you. I can't deal with that right now. I have to go into like fix mode for myself because I'm still here and very capable and ready to go. Put the costumes down. I beeline. I'm like, okay, we'll talk later. Beeline. Find Hunter. He goes, oh, I guess you want to talk. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, give me Johnny Curtis, who's doing nothing. He's one of my best buds. I'm like, just give me Johnny Curtis. We'll just keep rolling like nothing happened. It'll be me and him. We dance. He was like, I don't know. Can he dance? I'm like, I don't know. I can't dance. It's like, to me, I was like, why do I have to be a good dancer? That's the heat in it. If I come out and do this awesome striptease and I'm really good at it, there's no heat in that. If I'm a dickhead and I suck and I think I'm great, there's heat in that. I was like, fuck what I do or this and that. Yeah. So she calls, like, please hold. And then Shawnee's like, oh, hold on a second. We're going to patch in Joe Hennig. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is the weirdest call. Right. And I'm in, like, Penn Station. I can't hear shit, but this is, like, the weirdest call. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And, like, I'm freaking out. And finally gets on. He's like, hey, you know, The Rock's coming back for this tag match with Cena at Survivor Series. And we just, you know, he needs some guys to work out with. So we picked you two to be his personal, you know, punching bags, training guys, whatever he wants. So basically, right now he's filming a movie in New Orleans, and we're going to send a ring to like some secret warehouse, set it up, and we'll call you to just go train with him whenever he wants. Because his schedule is so demanding and crazy that like he can't just say, okay, Tuesday I'm going to wrestle. He can't commit that. He'll call like a drop of the hat and say, hey, I need these guys now.
Did you know The Rock at all before this?
Just a hello and goodbye, like, because he did a couple promos on Raw, nothing, you know, not perfect. I'll never forget the first time we were both, like, super nervous and, like, intimidated, like, what the fuck are we doing here? And it's like, we're in this warehouse in a ring, and I'm just circling with The Rock, getting ready to tie up, and I'm, like, so fucking nervous getting ready to tie up with him, and he goes, you use some music, huh? And I was like, oh, yeah, you use some music. And you're like, holy fuck. And then he, like, sends out his fucking guy, he comes right back with this, like, Bose fucking iPod dock, blast him. He's like blasting Tupac and stuff, and then like he could not have been cooler. Like rolling around with him, just like he was always so nice, always so polite, always so like it's just like just when they put the match together. Like I had to go like Miz, Truth, Michael Hayes, Pat Patterson. I had to be there because Dwayne wanted me to be there. Like what the fuck? Like because he just was comfortable with me after the relationship we established.
Right.
Know? And then sit in and listen to them call this tag match I have nothing to do with. Shit like that. It was fucking wild.
How long did that go on for?
A long time, because then it got all the way to Mania in March, and then there would be times where we'd have to go to TV call times like 2. Sometimes we would go at like 10 a.m. and they have the ring set up and like black curtains that go up around it so you can't see what's going on inside, and we'd meet him in there.
Wow.
And that shit got even more crazy because around like Mania time, like Taker and Shawn would be out there throwing in their 2 cents, and we'd be like running spots with Dwayne and just getting him in shape and going over like exact spots where like I had to be Cena and pretend to be Cena and do things. It was fucking awesome. It was just the coolest part was that he was so fucking cool, and
yeah,
he'd be wearing the C on his fucking uniform. This isn't real.
To me, he's the next Shawn Michaels. I mean,
he's incredible. He's the most over guy on the roster.
Yeah. His promos are amazing. If they let him
and I mean everything he does, he knocks out of the park.
He's awesome.
It's just not fair. I mean, whether it's political, I don't know. We're really good friends. I wish it's the best for him because I think the world is crazy. I'm finally in front of this thing instead of staring at it.